Hey everyone, it's Iki here, and today I'm going to be talking about how I made this fun roller derby costume. I want to stress immensely that this is not an original design by me, but in fact a design by the lovely Savannah Alexandra, who is an amazing artist in her own right and has somehow managed to capture two things that I love: roller skating and Sailor Moon. I'll post links in the description below so you can find her and check out all of her amazing artwork. Please consider it. She is just wonderful, and the creations that she comes up with, just so good. So, that being said, this will be a start to finish build. I almost consider this a speed build, just because of how quickly it went. But you can just consider it even a regular build as well. It doesn't matter. I had no real deadline for this aside from I just wanted to make this and skate in it. Yeah, so hopefully my process will help you along. I'm sorry if it does seem strange or unusual. This is very different for how I normally do builds, and of course it is because right now the world is a little different, so I hope that you'll forgive me, but I do want to give a few disclaimers. First disclaimer is that I did this project when most states in the United States were on a lockdown or lock-in. My ability or desire to leave my home was very minimal. I am a high-risk individual, so it was very much so not advised for me to go out and just shop or find things outside of my home. The second thing is supplies were in really high demand. By the time I decided to actually get rolling on this project, I could not find basic white or navy cotton fabrics at my local fabric store that would work for what I wanted. They would have either too little of amount, or they would have some but not at the right shade, or just small little things like that I was like, you know, I bet I could do this another way. The third thing is I do want to stress, because there's a very high chance, even with editing, that I'm going to go off on roller skating because I love it so much. I do want to stress out, I am not sponsored by any roller skate shop, brand, anything in doing this. So if I go on about how much I love my little beach bunny skates, please don't hate me. Please don't say that I'm sponsored, because I'm not. I just really love my roller skates. So, with that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. So, as stated, here's the lovely Savannah Alexandra's art page. Her Instagram one specifically. Sorry about that. This is where I first saw my lovely Neptune in all of her amazing roller skating action. The second thing I did with this project was that I made some purchases on Amazon. 3 t-shirts of differing colors, navy, white, and teal. Don't worry, the leftovers have since been used to make face masks. Softy shorts, which you can see me looking up here. Name brand doesn't matter, just that old retro-y style. Softy is just one of the more known brands within the sporting community, so that's why I gravitated to them. Also, they're not too expensive, and I figured I could alter them really easily. I also am going to show you the skates that I ordered. I ordered them on my own prior to this whole roller derby idea. I wanted to replace the skates that I had already, so go ahead and take a look. The ones that I have are the Moxi brand. I purchased mine through a shop that no longer exists. They actually got switched out from where they were to a shop called Pidgeon's Roller Skate Shop. You can find them, and I will link them below as well. You can find them at pigeonskates.com. I don't know how many they have left in stock of any of the types of skates, because it's been a big thing right now, but take a look, see if if this inspires you, if this makes you want to get out and skate. The ones that will be featured for me with all my pictures that I show are the Beach Bunny Sky. I will also just let you know the wig that I purchased for this. I won't go into like actually showing you where I got it from. I'll just say, and I'll link it below. I got the Hestia in Emerald Green by Applique Cosplay. They do have sales, so if it seems like a little bit of a high price for you, just wait. They go on sale pretty frequently. Really great company. Definitely recommend them. I already had this wig as my wife and I were going to cosplay Uranus and Neptune as part of our convention lineups this year, but that sadly didn't get to happen. 2021 though? No worries, no con crunch. Yes! So, about this part. It appears that I have lost all of my footage of patterning this out. So I'll walk through what I did. I'm really bummed that I lost the footage. I can't believe that happened. So what I did is I took this pink tissue paper that you can see there, and I laid an existing halter crop top that I had on top of it. And what I did is I basically just traced around that to create a pattern. I gave myself about a half an inch on each side to give myself some seam allowance, but that's basically all I did. There's not a lot to it. I then also took this same paper and I drew Neptune's little planetary symbol on it as well, and matched it up with the pattern that I had made for the crop top. This was to make it so that I knew that it would fit properly and that I would know, I would have that pattern to cut out of my t-shirt. Once again, I'm so sorry that I don't have this. If you would like to see a video on how to do pattern drafting and patterning, I do have one on my channel, so please feel free, go ahead after this video is done, take a look, see if it helps you learn. So here we can see me and Butters and getting ready for the stream, but that's beside the point. So at this point I have already drafted and cut out that halter top. And so this is just kind of that process of, oh here look, this is how we sew our halter top together real quick, real fast, super easy. I'm so excited, you guys. Alright, so here's where we're laying out our little Neptune symbol. I'm just making sure that everything is, apart, away from the edges as much as I can. And then we're going to go ahead and show sewing the bias tape onto the Sophie shorts. So this bias tape is actually cut from the t-shirt that I made the halter top from. And all I did was I just approximated 1 inch strips, or not 1 inch, 2 inch strips, folded it in half an inch to make like a 1 inch strip, and then folded that in half, and that gave me the perfect bias tape size. Because it is t-shirt material, it will be just a little bit stretchy to work with, so if you have like a walking foot, that's what I'm using, or even just do a zigzag stitch, and maybe have like some tissue paper or something and reinforcement paper to put over it just to stabilize it, that would be good. That's something that you could just tear away if you don't have a walking foot, so that it doesn't get bunched up and stuck in place. So here is actually a really good example of me making those little bias tape strips, and then I'm tying them into bows to hand stitch onto the sides of the little slits on the shorts. So for the applique, I'm kind of glossing over that because it did not go as smooth as I wanted it to, but if you can see in the video there, all I did honestly was I just did a basic, like a super tight zigzag stitch all the way around that. I did a looser zigzag stitch on it, just to baste it in place. On the inside, I should have used an interfacing to hold it in place better, but instead I didn't want to waste fabric, so I just stacked more of that teal fabric on the inside to give it a more stable base so that my sewing machine didn't eat it. As we continue going on here though through the video, you're going to see me putting on more of my homemade bias tape, which once again I just did 2 inches, fold in each side, 1 inch, fold again over. This is just basic t-shirt fabric, so I just went ahead and clipped it on and went to town on it. And time for more detail work. So I just once again clipped, tucked, pinned, and generally eyeballed this. I measured it out a little bit, but for the most part I kind of just winged it. That was kind of the theme of this project, was let's wing it and see what happens, because I really just wanted to make something that I can skate in. I won't lie. My hope was that it wouldn't fall apart when I scooted around in it, you know? So I always like to show in my videos the process of me just learning and doing things not necessarily the correct way, but a way that works, but not a way that is necessarily the easiest or what would be the right way for a garment that you would probably spend more time on or want to spend more time on. So like I said earlier, I just put some of that t-shirt fabric down to build up that thickness so that it didn't get eaten by my sewing machine, and went to town doing that super tight zigzag stitch. What that'll do is it'll give you that impression of like almost like it's a badge or an emblem that's been sewn into the item. I've done a couple of appliques like this. I actually did a couple on my wife's wedding cosplay. Yes. So it works. It gets the job done. You may want to go a little slower. I kind of sped through this because I wanted to be done with it. But, you know, take it as you want. Some people might be better at this than I am. I am in no way an expert, so I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that could probably do it at a faster speed and make it look fantastic. Alright, so this is that finished product for the top. I just needed to make sure it fit. Sorry for that overexposure. It happens. But it fit well. I think it was super comfy, and it turned out exactly as I had hoped for. So let's go ahead and see what this looked like in action. I do have to say, this was probably one of my favorite speed builds that I've ever done. It just brought me so much joy to be able to share two of my favorite loves and combine them into one item. So thank you guys for taking a look at my video, especially if you stayed tuned this long. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. I should be having more videos coming out sooner rather than later. That being said, stay safe, I love you all, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!